Where do we find Vigne at the start of season 2, and what's in store for her in this final season?
At the beginning of season 2, you see them segregated to the row, and it's kind of Philo and Vigne up against it, trying to fight and try and get out. You know, they're all cornered in, Faye can't fly out, and you see her at the beginning robbing a train. That beginning scene is one of my favorites. You know, she's robbing the train for medicine because the Bastille has infected the whole of the road. And you kind of see their different journeys, and he's already trying to like solve murders, which he does best. How much happens in this one season is a lot. So like that's even just like the first 5 minutes. It takes you on a real roller coaster, and it's yeah, it's amazing though. By the time it ends, it really gives you so much sense of hope, and it's such a great ending to me. I loved it. Sad.
Absolutely. Season 2 continues to shed light on very current topics such as immigration, refugees, sexism, classism. Now, why do you think that this show, through the lens of a fantasy story, manages to get the point across?
That's the wonderful thing about fantasy, is obviously at the heart it's fantasy, but everything that it talks about is so rooted in reality. All the topics they talk about are so part of this world that we're dealing with constantly. So many people are fighting for freedom, and that's kind of what this is all about. And it's kind of like, at what cost will it bring you? How many people will you lose? What do you lose in sacrificing that? But also, would you not rather fight for freedom than sacrifice it and just kind of idly sit by? The characters are so relatable. There are so many different journeys to kind of follow, and it has everything that you kind of want, and that is in real life. Obviously, it's obviously magnified in so many ways, but it has romance, it has drama, conflict, crime solving. But really at the heart of it, these characters are so well thought out and so kind of 3-dimensional. You know, no matter who it is, it's kind of, you can relate to so many different people.
Now, what did it mean to you as a queer person to be portraying a pansexual character on this show? Because there isn't a lot of representation going on at the moment.
Yeah, I think in definitely the fantasy world, it was very cool to do that, because that didn't really ever exist to me. You know, I've been able to do that once or twice now and represent the queer community in a way, but in fantasy, it's already quite binary. So I thought what they did with that was brilliant. And I felt that kind of layered thing of it not just being a generic story, and obviously it's a part of it. That's kind of the beautiful thing. I remember in the first season talking about it and being like, wow, these fairies are kind of what all humans should be allowed to be, is like these hypersensitive, very strong, vulnerable, but like, you know, they have the ability to fly and stuff. But that's like in a metaphor. I thought that was really beautiful.
That's beautiful. Now, and much like Vignette, you also march to the beat of your own drum. Now, have you found it hard throughout your career, especially with the constant scrutiny of the paparazzi?
No, I'm always going to be who I am. You know, I think I've always said from the beginning of being in this world that like the concept of like celebrityism and like perfectionism and all that stuff, like I'm a human, I make mistakes, but I'm always going to put my hands up and admit that. But that, I think, is the healthy thing to do, because I feel like the children who idolize people that seem to have these perfect worlds, it's like no one does. It doesn't matter what you do. You don't go, I'm a celebrity and I've made it. It doesn't exist making it. It's like, so yeah, I'm always going to be me. But I'm always going to lead with my heart and kind of try and do what's best. Like bettering myself is like maybe the wrong word to use, but I always want the truth and I will fight for myself.
I'm afraid my time is up. I would love to stay and talk with you all day, but thank you so much, Becca.
Thank you so much. Say hello to Italy for me, please.
I will. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ci manchi.
Yeah.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.